Today's video is all about pasta salads. And I had so much fun making these. They were all new to me and I loved every single one of them. Hey y'all, I'm Valerie and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 pasta salad recipes that are easy to make and perfect for this time of year. Okay y'all, let's get started. This pimento cheese pasta salad only has 5 ingredients and it's so easy to make. To begin, you're going to boil up 1 pound of pasta. I'm using these lumashimi pasta noodles. I hope I'm saying that right. I found them at Ingles and they're kind of like large elbow noodles but cut in half. And I always salt my pasta water, especially when I'm making pasta salad. And I'm just cooking these according to the package directions. Then I'm going to drain them and rinse them under very cool water and then drain them again. Now we're going to head over to the counter and you'll need a very large bowl here. You're going to add in a 12-ounce container of pimento cheese. I'm using the Ruth's brand, but you can use any pimento cheese you like. How many of you love this stuff? I love me a good old pimento cheese sandwich. Next, you're going to add in about a half a cup of mayonnaise. You can always add more at the end if you feel like it needs it, but right now we're only doing a half a cup. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of diced ham. I prefer the shaved deli ham a little bit better, so that's what I got and I just chopped it up really good. Then you're going to add in about a half a cup of diced green onions. And I didn't have quite a half a cup, but I just used what I had. I'm just going ahead and adding some salt and pepper to taste. But if you're worried about it being a little too salty, you can always wait till the end and taste it and then add what you want. I find it a little easier to go ahead and mix it up like this before I add the pasta in. That way I make sure everything is well combined. Now you're going to add in that cooked, drained, and cooled pasta and then give it one last really good stir. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel and it helps me to know you want to see more videos like this. I popped this pasta salad in the refrigerator to chill for about an hour and then it was ready to serve. This is great to make for the summer. It's great for cookouts or potlucks. I even love it for lunch. It also comes together super quick, which is perfect if you find out you have to go somewhere last minute and you gotta hurry up and make something. We love it. This Southwestern pasta salad was a new one for us and it was a winner. To start out, I'm browning up 1 pound of ground beef. I'm just breaking that up and letting it cook until it's completely cooked through. Now I'm using a paper towel to soak up some of that grease. Next, you're going to add in 1 packet of taco seasoning, and you can also go ahead and add in a little salt and pepper to taste. And I forgot to mention, while that ground beef was cooking, I boiled up 1 pound of rotini pasta. I rinsed it under cool water, drained it, and set it aside. Stir that together. Then you're going to remove it from the heat and set this aside also until it's completely cooled. Now we're going to head over to the counter and put it all together. I've got a large bowl and I'm telling you, for this one, you will need a large bowl. We're going to start out by making the sauce first. I'm adding in 1 cup of mayonnaise, followed by 1/4 cup of sour cream. I do want to mention, just in case you're new, I would really love to have you here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. That way you get notified of all my future videos. Okay, now I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of ketchup and I just eyeballed that. Also about a teaspoon of sriracha sauce, followed by 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You can use the concentrate, but I highly recommend using fresh here. And for the seasonings, I did 1/4 teaspoon each of smoked paprika, onion powder, chili powder, and salt. Now give that a little stir. Now we can go ahead and add in that 1 pound of cooked, drained, and cooled rotini pasta. By the way, feel free to use any kind of pasta you like here. This is also really pretty with that colorful garden rotini. Now I'm adding in that taco seasoned ground beef, along with 1 can of drained whole kernel corn, a can of drained and rinsed pinto beans, 1½ cups of cherry tomatoes cut in half, and about 3 chopped green onions. Now you're going to do your best to stir this all together, and I told you it was a lot. And we still have a couple more things to add, but I just wanted to give this a really quick stir before I added in the rest. Okay, to finish it off, I'm adding in about 3 cups of chopped romaine lettuce, and the recipe said to use 3 cups of crushed tortilla chips. I'm going to hold off on them until right before I serve it, that way the chips don't get soggy. You could also hold off on the romaine too, I wasn't thinking. So I would just add in everything except the romaine and the tortilla chips, and then right before you serve it, you can go ahead and add those in. I do suggest going ahead and tasting it though, just in case you need more salt. And this is a pasta salad you don't have to chill, you can serve it right away. We all loved this one. I'll definitely be making it again, and I'm telling you, you take this to a cookout or a potluck and it will be gone. Oh, and you can also switch those tortilla chips out for Doritos. That would be really, really good. If you love deviled eggs, I'm pretty sure you're going to love this deviled egg pasta salad. We're going to start out by making the dressing. You'll need 6 boiled eggs, but for now, in this medium-sized bowl, we're only adding in the 6 egg yolks. And you're just going to use a fork to mash them up into really fine crumbles. The recipe said to push them through a fine mesh strainer, but I didn't have time for all that. And for the seasonings, I did ½ teaspoon of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of finely chopped red onion. Also 2 tablespoons of chopped green onions. I had to make sure I got them all there. Next I'm adding about 1½ tablespoons of Dijon mustard. If you don't have Dijon, you can also just use the regular yellow mustard. And 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. And the recipe called for a teaspoon of vinegar, but I thought pickle juice would be really good in here, so I just used that instead. Then I mixed it until it was well combined. Now I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator and let it be chilling while I make the pasta. I cooked up 8 ounces of this ditalini pasta according to the directions on the back of the box. Then I drained it, rinsed it with cool water, and then drained it again. When I was done with that pasta, I grabbed that dressing out of the refrigerator and then I added that pasta right on in. And I thought this tiny little pasta was perfect in here. I highly recommend. It did want to stick to that strainer though. Now I'm adding in those 6 chopped egg whites. Now all that's left to do is stir this together until that pasta is completely covered in that dressing. Now you can serve this immediately, or you can cover it and chill it until you're ready to serve. I sprinkled it with a little paprika and added on some green onions. This was so good, and I really hope you give it a try. I mean, deviled eggs are a staple here in the South. I can't believe it's taken me this long to try deviled eggs in pasta salad. This Caesar pasta salad is one of my new absolute favorites. I started out by taking 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts and cutting them in half horizontally to make 4 thin pieces. Then I seasoned them up with garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and whatever else I could grab. And while those were frying up in the pan, I cooked up 12 ounces of rotini pasta according to the directions on the back of the box. I let that chicken cook for about 4 or 5 minutes on each side until it was cooked through. Then I removed it from the heat, chopped it up into bite-sized pieces, and set it aside. Over to the counter, in a large bowl, I added that 12 ounces of cooked and drained pasta. You could also use penne or any other kind of medium pasta. I also added in that cooked and chopped chicken. Go ahead and season this to taste with some salt and pepper. I also added in a little of the Slap Ya Mama Cajun seasoning. You definitely don't want to skip out on this. Now you're going to add in about half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. And if you love Parmesan cheese, go ahead and add you in a little more. Next, I added in 6 slices of cooked chopped bacon. Now the recipe called for a homemade Caesar dressing. If you want that recipe, you'll find it linked in the description box below, but I wanted to make this easy. So I just grabbed some store-bought Caesar dressing, and you'll just want to add in however much you like here. I ended up doing almost the whole bottle. But you could start out by only adding half and then add more as you need it. Better to not add enough than to add too much to start with. Now you're going to toss this together until it's well combined. Now to finish it off, I added in about 1.5 cups of garlic and butter flavored croutons. And I did kind of crush half of those up a little bit there, just so it wasn't all big chunks. The recipe called for 6 cups of chopped romaine lettuce. I chopped up 6 cups, but I ended up not adding it all. I only did about 4 cups worth, so you add what you feel like you want to add. Then toss this around, and you can serve it right away or you can chill it. But remember, if you chill it, I would wait to add the croutons and the romaine lettuce until right before you serve it. And I garnished this with some Parmesan cheese and lemon wedges. I gave this like a 20 out of 10. I loved it. And y'all, I take any shortcuts I can, which is why I use the store-bought Caesar dressing. But feel free to make your own homemade. I'm sure that'll make it even better. I seriously can't say enough about this recipe. That seasoned chicken and those croutons took it to a whole new level. This street corn pasta salad is just perfect for summer. The recipe called for 2 cans of fire roasted corn. Of course, my store was out, so I had to try to make my own. I'm just going to toast it up in my skillet and see what I come up with. I've got a couple tablespoons of butter in there. I added in 2 cans of drained whole kernel corn. I just tossed that around and cooked it over medium-high heat until that corn got a little bit of color on there. And you can totally skip this step if you want to, if you can find fire roasted corn or if you just want to use regular corn, but I just had to give it a try. I decided to stop here. I removed it from the heat, set it aside to let it cool for just a little bit. Now in a large pot, I'm boiling up 1 pound of elbow macaroni. And just cook that up according to the directions on the back of the box. When it's done, rinse it under cool water, drain it, and then set it aside. Now over to the counter, I'm grabbing a large bowl. You're going to add in 1 cup of mayonnaise. My favorite is Duke's, if you can't already tell here, but you can add whatever you like. Next, add in about 1/2 cup of sour cream. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what is your favorite summer side dish. Next, you're going to add in the juice from 2 limes. The recipe called for 1/2 cup of cotija cheese. I didn't have any, so I did feta and Parmesan. I just did about 1/4 cup of each of those. And for the seasonings, I did about 1/2 teaspoon each of chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, and pepper. We're also going to add in 1 teaspoon of tahini seasoning. And y'all, this was my first time trying it, and I love it. Now I'm adding in a 4-ounce can of the fire roasted green chilies. and I did drain those. Go ahead and give it a little stir, and go ahead and taste it here and see if you feel like you need to add something else. Then you're going to add in that pound of cooked and drained pasta. Also, if you want to kick this up a notch, you can add in a dash of cayenne pepper, and also cilantro if you like it. I'm adding in that semi-homemade fire-roasted corn. You know, I feel like I've seen that fire-roasted corn in the freezer section, maybe by Green Giant. If you can't find it in the cans, check the freezer. Now you're just going to stir all this together until it's well combined. And you can serve this right away, or you can pop it in the refrigerator to chill until you're ready to serve it. I just topped this with a little more feta cheese and some lime wedges. And a little more of that tahini seasoning, because I am obsessed with it. If you haven't ever had it, I'll try to describe it to you. It's kind of like taco seasoning with a strong lime flavor. I had family over on this day and everyone went crazy over it, and I really think your family will love it too. You'll have to let me know which one you're most excited to try. I loved them all. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You may also like these. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more easy recipes, and I will see you in the next one.